Hello again, it's Noob, and here we have, well, it's a Federal Super 535 EUX heavy duty padlock body with a medium-sized shackle, but the lock we're picking today is what's inside it, and it's a €0.5 made by Anker, and this is the Anker project, and it has a heck of a keyway. Look at that. Now, you might be thinking, well, how do we pick a lock like that, especially with a bitting like this with all its ups and downs, pretty close to max cut, I believe here, maximum adjacent cut. And that's the fact that you can actually at an angle pick up through the warding. Can you see? As long as you don't pick straight up, pick at a slight angle with a thin enough pick. And I've got a few here that I can do that with. For example, I've got a 15,000th multi-pick here and an 18,000th Peterson. I should be able to get up in there. I've also got a short hook to have a play around with. So let me throw this in a vise and we'll see if we can pick it. And if we can pick it, we'll see if we can gut it. Okay, so we're in the vise, and here is the lovely key with its high cuts at the front and at the back with these two possibly zero lift pins in the middle. There's no spring tension on that core. One thing to note is because of the keyway shape and the wiggliness of the key, trying to match them up sometimes you sort of locate the key into the wrong place, or too high or too low, just wants to fit sort of everywhere. Had the same problem with Asa twins as well, for that matter. Right, that's all locked back up. Might try a gem profile and a bit of tension like this. So pop tension in the side of the lock like that, and pin 5 here, I think. That's pin 3. That's 2, but not getting in there very well. This is pin 1. Oh! Oh! How, well, that's unexpected. We'll take that. I expected that to be harder. Now, truth be told, I did partially disassemble this lock, but only because I wanted to check beforehand I could. I haven't seen inside to see what any of the pins are, but I did take this off the back and pop on a new circlip. So that I could actually gut it for you on camera. But let's open it up to prove that it's actually fully open, and we'll try to figure out why it opened so quickly. Okay, let's give this a go. Where's my pinning tray? Here we go. There's a pinning tray, and well, we've opened this up now. We've proved it's open, so I can lock it back up. I can pop in the key, and we can, yep. Everything's all fine, all so hunky. So let's unscrew this. Oh yeah, that's right, that comes out like that. That's the actuator at the back. We can pop that down here, like that. Take off this piece of steel, and you can see at the back why I had to put on a new circlip, because this one was a crimp fit. If I take off this other one, which shouldn't be too hard, let's take the key out a little bit, take it out, clip it off like this, there we go, you'll see how this was on, and putting that back on is, well, you see how it's deformed. They sort of put it over and then crush it into this side and this side. It's a nightmare, so I'm glad I took that off, but I don't know what's on the inside of this. So do I have a shim somewhere? I thought I did. Probably need one. Okay, clearly I don't have a shim with me. Let's grab one from here, turn that to the side, pop a shim in, just to be safe and sound, since we don't know what we're going to expect. Always shim if you don't know. Pop in a follower, and let's see if we can't carefully take that apart. Okay, so all looks normal there. Standard in 1, standard in 2, Ooh, there's some master wafers in 3, 4 and 5 and 6. So I might have just hit this lock at the right, with my pick. I might have somehow almost jiggled the lock open. Let me grab a pair of tweezers. Turn this all around. Now, these master wafers are all on the key pin side, so if I took them out, the lock wouldn't work with the key, which is unfortunate. Otherwise, I'd take them out and then I'd try picking it again. But there are master wafers on 4 out of the 6 pins. Let's have a look what's on the inside on this side here. Oh, and there is a little master wafer as well on the driver pin side of pin 1. Pin 2 standard, pin 3 standard, no master wafers, 4, 5 and 6. So there don't appear to be any more master wafers, but the only one I could take out and this whole lock work is this one, because that is the driver side and also all standard pins, so there aren't any spools in here. So the combination of heavy master wafering or heavy mastering plus the fact that we have all standards means that that was an incredibly fast pick, which is a bit of a shame really, because otherwise it would have been quite a fun lock to have go at. But I think it's worth showing this kind of thing. Just shows sometimes you have a keyway, it looks all tough, you go to pick it, and because of heavy mastering, then yeah, this lock is super easy to pick. For those who don't know what master wafers do, these are designed so that you can use these locks in a suite, so that one key operates multiple locks. So maybe you have 20 different rooms, each opening those rooms individually, but you have a key which is a master key, which then opens all of those 20 rooms, and hotels and factories and office blocks all tend to have various master keying systems. And whilst that's very good for making sure that you can control access to various rooms in a facility, for example, it does massively lower the security of a lock in terms of its pickability. But even just throwing some spools in here, that would have helped too, but alas, none such luck. Anyway, I hope we all learned something from this video, and I'll see you all next time.